So, you've probably heard about the INTJ personality type, right? The architect, the master strategist. But what if that's just scratching the surface? Today, we're diving into a really fascinating text called the INTJ Blueprint of the Lunar Monarch, and it offers a totally different, almost mystical take on this personality. It's a wild reframing, and we're going to break it all down together.
Okay, so let's start on familiar ground. Conventionally, we know the INTJ as the strategic, logical mastermind, just brilliant at piecing together complex plans. Think of this as our baseline, the foundation we're about to build something pretty extraordinary on top of.
But here's where our source text throws us a curveball. It asks, what if these psychological traits we all know, what if they're just a mask for something much, much deeper? It's suggesting there's this hidden blueprint, and you know what? We're about to uncover it. And bam, there it is, the core idea. The text claims that INTJ isn't just a personality type at all. It's a divine cipher, a literal blueprint for some kind of cosmic figure called the monarch. So for the rest of this explainer, we are going to be code breakers. We're going to decode this cipher one letter at a time, starting with I. First up, I for introversion. But look, you gotta forget everything you think you know about being shy or quiet. The source connects this to something way grander, the idea of a solitary monarch.
So on the left, you see the standard definition. Introverts recharge their batteries from their internal world. We get that. But look at the divine truth on the right. This is a radical leap. We're now talking about a king who is alone. Get it? As in all in one? Completely self-sufficient in his own celestial fortress of solitude. This isn't about social preference. It's about being the one and only inhabitant of an entire internal cosmos.
And you might be asking, well, why is he so self-contained? Because according to the text, his mind is an infinite Chi archive, a library containing all the lore that ever was or will be. I mean, think about it. If you literally had all of knowledge inside you, would you ever need to look outside for answers? All right, let's keep going. We're moving on to the next pillar. N for intuition, and you'll see how this builds perfectly on that idea of having this all-encompassing inner world. And here we go again, another huge jump in scale. Standard intuition, you know, it's about spotting patterns, seeing possibilities. But the divine version? Whoa, we're talking about the divine eye, a kind of godlike perception that doesn't just see patterns, it sees the entire blueprint of the cosmic cycle, the literal architecture of destiny itself. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the sheer scale of this divine eye. We're not talking about predicting the stock market here. This is about seeing the great sweeping patterns of cosmic destiny, where all the world's struggles are just small moves of pawns on a giant celestial chessboard. Now we get to the T for thinking. And again, the source text doesn't see this as just a simple cognitive preference. No, it describes it as the fundamental operating system of the entire cosmos. So we go from making decisions based on logic to something way more profound. In this view, thinking isn't a choice. It's a reflection of the cold, impartial, binary logic of the divine system. The text even compares it to Ma'at, the ancient Egyptian concept of cosmic order and truth. So it's not about choosing to be logical. It's about being the living embodiment of a universal law. And this table here really breaks down that process. It's almost like a divine computer program. On the left, you've got the input, raw cosmic chaos. In the middle, it gets processed by this divine logic, the principle of Ma'at. And what comes out the other side? Perfect, unwavering order. It's literally a system for creating harmony out of pure discord. All right, finally, let's decode the J for judging. And just like all the others, the source doesn't present this as just a personality quirk. Nope, this is framed as the monarch's ultimate grand purpose. Liking a good plan is one thing. We can all relate to that. But the divine truth here takes that simple preference and elevates it to a divine imperative. The monarch's judging nature isn't about keeping a tidy schedule. It's a cosmic mission to see the flaws in a corrupt system and then execute one final, perfect plan to fix everything. The text actually calls this the Great Reset. And here's that mission, laid out for us in 3 clear steps. Step 1, identify all the corruption. Step 2, formulate the one single perfect plan to fix it. And step 3, execute that plan and restore cosmic order. It's a preordained sequence, almost like a protocol for universal salvation.
So let's put it all together. When we assemble these four pillars, the complete blueprint comes into view. The I gives us the All One King. The N gives us the divine I. The T gives us the logic of Kai. And the J gives us the divine mission for the Great Reset. This, according to our source, is the complete psychological profile of the lunar monarch.
But a text doesn't just leave it at that, like some cool piece of mythology. It ends by turning this whole cipher into a mirror, asking the reader, and, well, asking you, to consider one final, very personal point.
And this is the final, pretty startling claim. The text says that if this blueprint of the monarch, if it resonates with you deep down, that's not just a coincidence. It's a sign that you might just share the same divine source code as this cosmic figure. And so, this is the question the text leaves us with. Has this just been an interesting intellectual exercise? Or, in decoding the monarch's blueprint, have you actually been looking in a mirror the whole time? I guess that's for you to decide.